Everybody, what's going on? So today in this quick tip video, I wanted to make a short video that wasn't really long because it seems like some of the longer videos I make, they don't really get very many views. Like, people don't really watch them. So I figured I'd make a short one so people would actually watch. But anyway, quick tip of the day is about culvert fishing or fishing along dams. And the tip that I want to talk about is casting your lure where the water is and not moving it. Basically just letting the water move your bait along. And what I like to do with this type of baits, or what type of baits I like to throw, is like topwater baits, crankbaits, something floating or something weightless like a fluke style bait or Doc's Lure Company. This here is called the Drop Shot Minnow, but it works super well on a weightless Texas rig. Just sorry about that. Just, fishing it like a fluke. It works very well for that. But basically all you do is you cast where the water is flowing in at, and you basically just let your bait free float along. And what it does is it imitates a bluegill or a shad that gets pushed through that water, and the bass come out and grab it and then go back in their little hiding spots. And where they like to hide in those type of areas is right on the corners and right next to the culverts where the water's rushing in at. And what they do is, like, the water's flowing straight this way, they'll sit on each side facing the mouth of the culvert. And what they'll do is they'll wait for a bluegill or a shad or whatever, really just whatever, gets pushed through that culvert, and they run out real quick, grab the bait, and run right back into their corner spot, hide. And it's basically just like if you were hunting on a deer trail. If you're sitting up in a deer stand right on a deer trail, where a trail basically just, it comes to a fine point where there's like 2 points that go into one, and they have to walk this one way. You can sit right there and wait for them, and the deer will come through there. It's just a matter of time. And that's basically what those bass are doing, is they're basically bluegill and shad hunting. It's basically what they're doing. And they're just waiting right there on the edges of that culvert, and pretty soon a shad will come through there. And of course, if you got water pushing through pretty quickly, a little shad, a 3 to 4 inch shad, or a 4 to 5 inch bluegill, or even smaller, is not going to be strong enough to overpower that water. It's going to get pushed through there really quickly, and once it gets into that lake or pond, them bass are free to just gnaw on it, and they'll come out and they'll just nail it. So if you're ever in those type of situations, and maybe they're not throwing, or maybe they're not eating topwater, throw something like this here, a little fluke style bait, or maybe a stick worm, or a wacky worm, or something like that gets pushed through there quickly, and then bass just have seconds to react, and they'll come out and grab it. I watched a video from Milliken Fishing. He was throwing a popper, or no, he was throwing a frog, sorry. He was throwing a frog up where the water was coming through at, and that bait was basically just going along the water just like this, and pretty soon it would just blow up and he would catch the fish. So that is your quick tip of the day. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.